Dear legend, if you have been challenged as I have in my legacy journey, then you already know everybody wants something from you. Your time, your energy, your attention, your response. Somebody wants a text back. Somebody wants a meeting. Somebody wants access. Somebody wants an explanation. And somebody wants you to solve a problem that doesn't even belong to you. And if you're not careful, you'll spend so much time managing everyone else's priorities that you'll completely abandon your own. I think one of the greatest leadership challenges of our generation is not a lack of talent. It's not a lack of education. It's definitely not a lack of opportunity. It's a lack of focus. We've been taught that being busy is impressive. We've been taught that being accessible is leadership. We've been taught that multitasking is a badge of honor. But what if we've been measuring the wrong thing? What if the real flex isn't being busy? What if the real flex is being focused? Because every great thing I've ever built required focus. Every degree, every promotion, every breakthrough, every healed wound, and every season of growth did not happen by accident. It happened because there came a moment when I had to decide what mattered most and give it my full attention. And here's the truth nobody's willing to talk about. Focus requires sacrifice. You cannot focus on everything. That's a lie. You cannot say yes to everything. You cannot carry every relationship, every expectation, every opinion, every distraction, and still expect to walk fully in your purpose. At some point, legend, focus becomes a leadership decision. At some point, focus becomes self-respect. Every time you allow distractions to control your attention, you are allowing something else to dictate your future. And legendary leaders understand that average leaders never learn. Attention is currency. Where your attention goes, your life follows. Where your attention goes, your results follow. Where your attention goes, your legacy follows. That's why focus isn't soft. It's strategic. Focus is saying no when everybody expects a yes. It's staying committed when everyone else is quitting. Focus is continuing to build when nobody is clapping. In fact, focus is doing the work in private long before anyone sees the results in public. Because the reality is this: nobody applauds focus in the beginning, legend. They applaud the results in the end. They celebrate the business after it succeeds. They celebrate the book after it's written. They celebrate the leader after they've become influential. But they rarely see the discipline that created the outcome. They rarely see the sacrifices. They rarely see the lonely decision. And because of that, they do not see the nights when you stayed committed while everyone else became distracted. And that's why focus matters. Because focus creates clarity. Clarity creates confidence. confidence creates action. And consistent action creates legacy. That's why I created this framework. Focus. Filter the noise. Own your direction. Cut the distractions. Understand the assignment. And stay consistent. Not because it's easy, dear legend. And definitely not because it's trendy, but because it works. And if there's one thing I want you to remember after this lesson, it's this. The crown doesn't go to the busiest person in the room. The crown doesn't go to the loudest person in the room. The crown doesn't go to the person with the most opinions, the most meetings, or the most activity. The crown goes to the person who stayed focused long enough to become who they were called to be. So protect your attention. Protect your peace. Protect your purpose. Because in a world full of noise, confusion, comparison, and constant distraction, focus is the new flex. And your legacy is depending on it. So my question to you, dear legend, what has your attention? Are you focused? Because it's time to flex.